Good morning, friends. We're continuing Mishna Berura, Daf Hashavua. We're learning holiest Tefilla, Siman Kuf Chaf. Siman Kuf Chaf means we are approaching, finishing Chelek Aleph. Madison Square Garden is not available for our Siyam on Chelek Aleph, so we'll see what other arrangements we're able to make. Siman Kuf Chaf. Sharoi Lamer Retzei b'chol Tefilla. It is right to say Retzei in each Tefilla. I want to share with you a aura I had on Retzei. Firstly, in Mizmar L'Soida, we say Mizmar L'Soida, Hariu L'Hashem Kol Ha'aretz, Rashi Tevis Halacha. Oh, Panama, that's right. Rabbi Welder is reminding me that the Siyum will take place at the Panama Yarchei Kala, so maybe everyone's invited. Hopefully there might still be room for you. We're mamish packed. You could try to join. I would recommend trying. I think Rabbi Welder will have to figure out how to get everybody in. Okay, I see there are no more Maggid Harakiah mugs left. That's why he has to use a moose mug. But it looks like we're okay. Rabbi Yeager still has one. Fine. So in Mizmar L'Sayda we say like this: Hariu Hashem Kol Ha'aretz, Rashi Tevis Halacha. That's a remez that before we start davening, we learn a Dvar Halacha. Ivdu es Hashem b'simcha is referring to karbanos. Bayu lefanav bernana is psuke de zimra. De'u ki Hashem hu Elokim. De'u is Shema, da, the big I and the big Daled. Hu asanu v'lo yanachnu, he made us. Those are the 248 words of Shema keneged the limbs. Amoy v'tzayin marisa is kavanas mesiras nefesh v'kriya Shema. Bayu sha'arav b'saydar are the first three brachos of Shema Esrei. Chatzeroi Saf B'Sehila are the 13 middle brachos. Hoidu Loi Baruchu Shemai is Retzei. Ki Toiv Hashem Li'olam Chasdoi is Moedim. V'Adar V'Adar Emunasai is Simshalim. Says the Megala Amukais that Mizmar L'Soida encapsulates the whole Tefillah. But what's always interesting to me is that Retzei, the bracha of Retzei, has its own status in the whole corpus of Tefillah. There's a chashivus for the bracha of Retzei. There's psuke de zimra, there's kriya shema, they're the first three brachas, and there's Retzei. Okay? Another just inyan is that Reb Schwab says on Ula Avdai b'chol levavchem uv'chol nafshechem, he says, what's the idea? First we ask for Shema Koleinu, we ask Hashem to listen to our tefillah, and then we say again, Retzei Hashem Elokeinu b'amcha Yisrael. Then we ask Hashem again to listen to our tefillah. So Rav Schwab says the Shema Koleinu is to listen to our physical tefillahs for our needs. Retzei is that Hashem should listen L'man Shemai. That's another category of tefillah. Anyway, so this fits well into the Shulchan Aruch, that there's a Siman in Shulchan Aruch on Retzei. There's no Siman on, not every bracha gets its own Siman. Even the first three brachas, there's no Siman for Ata Kadosh, but there's a Siman for Retzei. Sharoi lamer Retzei b'chal Tefillah. Oimrim Retzei b'chal Tefillos. Udoloi kaisim shenagim shaloi la'amra b'mincha. Not like those who don't say mincha time. By the way, from here we learn a very important halacha that you need to daven mincha. That's a halacha that should not be overlooked. From the Mechaber says, not like those people who don't say Retzei and Mincha. So I would say not like those people who don't daven Mincha. You have to daven Mincha. It's not a small thing. Many times people forget to daven Mincha. They're working. You have to remember to daven Mincha. Okay, anyway, says Mishna Berura, B'mincha dahainu she'im aschila mei v'ishe Yisrael. In other words, they don't skip the whole bracha. They just say Retzei Hashem Elokeinu b'amcha Yisrael tzvasam b'ashav z'vay l'Rebbe Secha, and by mincha they start from v'ishe Yisrael. Okay, v'ishe Yisrael. Now, why do they do that? Why do these people deserve such credit that they skip the first part of Retzei? They get a lot of attention. The Beis Yosef explains that Retzei is connected to Berchos Kayanim. So since we only duchin by Shachris, so therefore they would only say Retzei by Shachris. But the Mishna Berura is saying the Mechaber is saying that's not correct. Now on Yom Tov we know we add to Retzei V'sei Arev Lefanecha. By the way, that also indicates that Retzei is connected to Berchas Kayanim. So when we duchen, we add that. Let's say you're not duchening, by the way. Let's say you have no Kaihanim. There are no Kaihanim. It happens. There are no Kaihanim. Do you say V'sei Arev? You do. Oh no, excuse me, you do not say it. You do not say it. The Pas HaShulchan says that when they, in Eretz Yisrael, where they duchen every day, really you need to say V'sei Arev every day. Do they say V'sei Arev every day in Eretz Yisrael? No, right? Okay, weiter. V'ayin b'pri megadim shekasav d'lefi mashinago achshav b'chamakim le'em Retzei. Now, according to what the custom is, that in all places we say Retzei, mikri ha'medaleg mishanui abei shetav v'chacham. Someone who skips Retzei is changing from the format that the Chazal legislated. V'dinei k'mash goes mechabersim kuf yotes of gimel b'ta b'bracha. And he has a din, like we said in Siman Kuf Yotes Siv Gimel, that if you skipped or you made a mistake in one of the middle brachas, you don't have to go back. Only to the beginning of the bracha. And from there on, you continue Kisei there. But it sounds like if you did it b'mezid, you would have to go back to the beginning of Shemona Esrei. In other words, the Mishnah Berurah is saying nowadays that everyone says Retzei. If you're going to have this custom, it's a bad custom. So if it's a bad custom, then you have a din of ta. Says the Mishnah Berurah, I don't think it has a din of ta. Even by Shachris. Ayin el Seif Siman Samach Dav B'Magen Avram B'Shem HaKesem Mishra V'Siman Non Tes of Siman Kuf Yadaled Magen Avram Siv Katan Tes of Reish Siman Kuf Pei Zayin. So what's he getting at? The Magen Avram says in all these places it's considered your Meshanmi Ma'per Shetiknu Chachamim. But only if you started or you ended the bracha. Meaning the Magen Avram is of the opinion it's only considered Meshanmi Ma'per Shetabach Chachamim if you started something with the Baruch and Chazal didn't legislate, or you didn't end with the Baruch where Chazal did legislate. But if you just change the Nusach and you don't say Mamish the Nusach that was Niskan, you don't really have the status of Meshanmi Ma'per Shetabach Chachamim. So in other words, the Pri Megadim says that nowadays the minhag is to say Retzei if you skip your Meshaneh. And the Mishnah Berurah says, no, not so fast. Maybe this is not, you don't have the status of Meshaneh because you're just changing Nusach, you're not changing the Baruch part. You only have a din of Meshaneh mi Ma'per Shetabach Chachamim if you change the Baruch part. Kasav Atur. Al Masha Anu Oimrim V'Yishei Yisrael Usifi Lasam. And the fire offerings of Israel and their prayers, we don't have avodah nowadays. So what does that even mean? Nowadays we don't have avodah. Mispalalim ala tefilla shi b'makom ha'karban. We are davening that Hashem should accept our tefillah, which is in place of a karban. Shetiskabel baratzon lifnei Hashem yisbarach. Even though technically you wouldn't call it v'ishei Yisrael. Or you could say maybe it's still called Ishei Yisrael, because once we have the book, V'Ishei Tefilla, the red book, and it's not referring to Karban, it's referring to Tefillah. That means Tefillah could also be referred to fire offering. Even though, why is it Tefillah fire offering? Uve Medrash Yesh, there is a Medrash, Michael Sar Hagadol, Makriv Nishmasan Shel Tzadikim Ala Mizbeach Shamayla. There's a Medrash that Michael, the great officer, is makriv the souls of tzaddikim on the mizbeach above. That he offers them as a goodwill offering before Hashem as a pleasant aroma. Tiknu v'ishe Yisrael. Anshe Yisrael. Ishe Yisrael referred to the people. Does anybody have a newfangled Mishnah Berurah? Where is this medrash? I think Tosfos and Chagiga quotes it, yeah? Where? What daf? Somewhere, yeah?
Tosfos and Menachos, Kuf Yud.
Only Tosfos and Menachos?
Kuf Yud, Dibbe
It's non-chagiga. Okay. V'yesh mefarshim al ma shelamala mimeno. Some say no. So we have a few perushim. One is the Torah. The Torah says even though we don't have karbanos, you could still say Isha Yisrael Tefilla is b'makam karbanos. Then we have the Medrash. The Medrash says that Michael is makriv the souls of tzaddikim. And now another pshat, v'yesh mefarshim al ma shelamala mimeno. It's going on what we said above. V'haki perusha. It says v'hashev ha'avoida. Basically, Retzei Hashem Eloheinu b'amach Yisrael. Uvasulasam, v'hashev es ha'avoida v'isha Yisrael. Return the avoida as well as the fire offerings. V'achar kach kama, right? V'hashev ha'avoida v'isha Yisrael. Usfilasam bi'ahavas kabel brotza, not v'isha Yisrael usfilasam. V'ayin b'taz shekasav da perish ham tzoi hu ha'muvchar mikulam. The Taz says the Michael pshat is the best. It makes a very big difference. Where do you put the kama? Do you read it? Retzei Hashem Elokeinu b'amach Yisrael usfilasam v'hashev es ha'avoida l'dver beisecha v'isha Yisrael. Meaning, do you make it Retzei Hashem Elokeinu b'amach Yisrael usfilasam kama v'hashev ha'avoida l'dver beisecha v'isha Yisrael kama usfilasam bi'avas kabel b'ratzayin? That's the third pshat. The second pshat is, and the first pshat is, Retzei Hashem Elokeinu b'amach Yisrael usfilasam v'hashev ha'avoida l'dver beisecha kama v'isha Yisrael usfilasam bi'avas kabel b'ratzayin. So the Taz says the middle pshat is the best. So the way you read it is, you read it, Retzei Hashem Elokeinu b'amach Yisrael usfilasam v'hashev es ha'avoida l'dver beisecha kama v'isha Yisrael usfilasam bi'avas kabel b'ratzayin. But v'aval agra kasav she'ikar keperish ha'achrain, that v'hashev es ha'avoida l'dver beisecha v'isha Yisrael kama usfilasam bi'avas kabel b'ratzayin. So wherever you put the kama, you'll be either going like the Taz or the Gra. But you should probably figure out which one you're doing so you can know what to think. Meaning if you're thinking one pshat and you put the kama in the other place, then you're stira minei obey. Probably the Gra's pshat is al derech hapshat. No, the Gra's pshat is a simple reading of the words. V'hashev es ha'avoida l'dver beisecha v'isha Yisrael kama usfilasam bi'avas kabel b'ratzayin. Unless you're thinking about Michal sacrificing the souls of tzaddikim, unless you're a Kabbalist and you have those holy thoughts.
Isn't it grammatically one or the other? Because it should be v'hashev es ha'avoida v'isha Yisrael. Let's feel like
V'hashev es ha'avoida l'dver beisecha.
The l'dver beisecha should be after v'isha Yisrael.
V'hashev es ha'avoida. You should say, you mean v'isha Yisrael l'dver beisecha. That's why I think the Gra is a simple reading of the V'hashev es ha'avoida l'dver beisecha kama v'isha Yisrael usfilasam bi'avas kabel b'ratzayin. L'maisa, the mystical pshat also fits into the words. Okay, Siman Kuf Chaf Aleph.
Started by the Isha Yisrael. They have the first pshat, right?
What?
The whole Tab of the Machaber, skip the word Retzei. They would start by the Isha Yisrael. How does Berura understand those people? They were not understandable.
You're saying that the people who start from the Isha Yisrael were going like the Michal people. Yeah, that's why the Gra doesn't like them. No, the Gra doesn't deny that there is such a pshat, that Michal is the Sar Hagadon, he's makar of the fires, but the Gra just says that's not the ikar purest of the Tefilla. Okay. Siman Kuf Chaf Aleph. Dinei Moedim. We'll do Sif Aleph. Dinei Moedim. Shoichin b'moedim tchila v'sif. We bow in the beginning and end of Moedim. Says Mishra Shoichin. Im nizdamin loy roik. Let's say you have to spit. Lo yishche ad sheyetzei arog mipiv. Don't bow until you emit the spittle. Why? The Aruch HaShulchan says, because if you spit while you're bowing, chas v'shalom, it looks like you're spitting at who you're bowing. V'ayin le'el siman tzadi zayin sif beis, where it says the dinim of someone who has to spit a middle shman esrei. B'moidim, isa b'gemarim, like kara b'moidim, if you don't bow by moidim, nasa shidroi nachash achar sheva shanim. After 7 years, your spine turns into a snake. The Torah says, mida k'neged mida. You should have bowed and straightened up like a snake, so therefore your spine turns into a snake. Why this bowing more than any other bowing? The Taras Chaim says in Baba Kama that the kriya that we bow by moedim is kederach she'adam moedeh lechaveroi, is like someone who is grateful to his friend that he bows with humility, and if you stand becomes a kufa, you look like a kofer. Rabbi Yosef Engel has a beautiful pshat in why if you don't bow by moedim, you turn to a snake. Rabbi Yosef Engel says that thanking Hashem is the very definition of life. V'chol hachayim yoiducha sela. Mabetza bedami beriditi al shachas hayoiducha afar. What benefit will there be in my death? I can't thank you. The definition of life is thanking Hashem. Thanking Hashem is not something you could do while you're alive, but rather the definition of life is not respiratory activity, it's not circulation, it's not digestion, it's thanking Hashem. There are many rayas to it. Therefore, if somebody does not thank Hashem properly, then the spine turns into the opposite, which is a nachash, which is the symbol of Misa. Fine. So, the Mishnah Berura says, Gimel Tchila Hainu B'Tchilas Moedim U'Ch'Omer Hashem Yizkaif. So basically, remember, Moedim Anachnu Lach Sha'atahu, and then you get up before Hashem. Just pointing out the word moedim is a milra. It's moedim and it's a chirik malay. It's moedim. Moedim. And that's how Rav Moshe Feinstein said the word. Chirik malay. Moedim. Anyway, Siv Katan Daled. V'soif. Beberchas hatov shimcha. That's the end of the bracha. Dahainu be'es amiros baruch atah. Hashem Yizkaif. When you say Hashem's name, you get up. V'chanal b'simen kig sif zayin le'inyan berchas avos. And remember, there's machlokes. Do you get up before you say Hashem's name, and when you sing Hashem's name, you're already erect, or while you're saying Hashem's name? Okay, we'll hold it over here, and we'll pick it up tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Kol tov.
Recording stopped.